I don't know. Well, the thing too, like powerlifting's progressed so much now that the numbers just keep getting blown out of the water every year.
I
They're getting
know
more and more impressive. So
that. Yeah,
I don't know.
Jamal's shit is wild to me. Did you
He
see that? Did you see that deadlift?
he pulls 1,000 pounds in training like on a weekly basis. It's
That's
really
what I'm talking about,
I'm
man.
like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I
That
really
why
don't
are
get it.
people not talking about this?
Well, he is probably the most honestly, I'd say he's the most famous guy right now in powerlifting, and then
He
Hack.
better be. And then what's the other Russell?
Oh yeah, well, Larry, of course, Larry Wheels.
Yeah,
But there's Russ. There's Russ on the tested side of things, and then on the untested, it's Hack and Jamal are the well-known
yeah.
guys. Those and Shane
Jamal
Hunt.
started and tested, right?
Yeah,
And so did
Jamal.
Hack.
Oh, his best deadlift tested, and this doesn't mean much because he probably jumped on before he was even close to his peak naturally, just like I did. I jumped on at like 20. I didn't care. Um, but he was around 350 naturally before he jumped on. And
Mm-hmm.
he probably could have gotten way further than that, but that's what his deadlift was at naturally. And then he's just blowing everything out of the water now because he hopped on and blew up fast. I remember because no one had even known about him. Kaylor Woolham was the guy at the time, and Jamal came out of nowhere. No one knew who this guy was, and he pulled 900 for 5, and we were all just like, "What the heck did we just see?" And then he
Yeah.
just blew up, and now look where he is. He's so well known, and those guys coincidentally train at the same gym now because
Who? Kaylor and Jamal?
they're not far from me. No, Russ and Jamal.
Oh,
They're
they're
in
in Houston,
Houston
right?
because you're in Austin,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I gotta get with those guys, bro.
Dude, you get it. There's so many good lifters now in Houston. That's like the mecca now.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. At least
So
for powerlifting. Austin is very fitness forward, but it's kind of like woo woo spiritual shit. Um, but it's kind of cool. Just the like health space is big here, but
you
yeah,
got Nick Bear there.
that's true. I did some stuff with him. That's where I deadlifted 300. Was at Nick Bear's
I
place.
saw that, dude. What's the
Yeah.
plan now? I know you said you got to go for 7, right?
Uh man, I got to be honest with you. Like I put like for the next week, I had some like weird PTSD where like I didn't feel comfortable even touching a barbell. Like I don't know, it was weird. It felt like I got hit by a car. Like 2, 3 days later, I was like, "Whoa, dude! I don't even want to be in the weight room right now." And I've never felt like that in my life. It wasn't even like that was a 15 kilo PR. So that was like beyond my life, like my whole life flashed before my eyes on that. That was literally, it was fucking crazy. Like I wasn't supposed to lift that weight on that day. And then when I did it, I was freaking out. Like obviously it was like ridiculous that I even considered doing that. And I did it. And then I'm not kidding you, dude. Like it felt weird. Like I didn't want to be in the weight room. I didn't want to look at a barbell. I like, it scared me because my body was like, in a crazy place, dude. And I know you've been through that. That's what powerlifting's all about.
Do you think it was central nervous system fatigue or what?
Yes, yes. It literally, like, it honest to God felt like I'd been in a car crash. Like, my body was just like, yo, that was really fucked up what you just did to me. Like, we need to stop. We need to like figure things out for the next week. You know, it's only 300 kilos, like comparatively to like guys my size who are in the 350s or getting near 400. But uh the fact that it was 15 kilos heavier than I'd ever done before, that was like the crazy part about it. And it was a big deal, man. Big deal. So having said all that, it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't really care that,
Okay.
I don't, people, it sounds so weird, but it's like, I just don't feel it anymore. Like I don't feel like I want it, 700, that is.
Well, then what? Okay, that makes sense. Honestly,
I,
I totally get that. But
it's, I sound like such a pussy, but like, it was a pretty real thing where I'm like, all right, I kind of want to go back to being athletic, feeling good, and moving around and staying kind of strong. But But who knows? Who knows what the next phase of life for me, like I'm not counting anything out, like but for me it's just not on the things that I want to do is deadlift 700 because I know now what it takes. And that's an extra fucking 40 pounds, so an extra 18 kilos. Like, God, that's a mountain to climb.
Well, so I take it a powerlifting meet is out of the question. You don't have interest in that or anything.
I don't know. I don't know. I think I could do one. I think it would be fun to get my bench press up to like 150, which I think that's doable because I am at the point now where like, so I had like a really, really bad bench. I'm talking like my chest just like didn't work type of bench. And then I worked at it really hard and it got a little bit better. And then I like hit a cool PR for me, which is 315. And then I didn't train bench like really at all. And then I did 316 pounds. I just threw like an extra pound plate on and I beat it. And I think it's just because I'm getting older. Like I think your bench, if you don't train it like a psycho, like it just kind of goes up as you become more of a man. So it'd be cool to like actually give a shit and bench really hard and just see what I could get. Like I think 150 is not out of the question at all. 7 kilos in the bench. Like if I just do bench 3 times a week, like probably get it. So that could be really fun. I also think if I cut my squat a little bit shorter than it used to be. So I squat higher. And I PR'd my squat by a kilo, just to PR it. And I kind of trained it pretty hard, actually. I was training the deadlift and the squat pretty hard. But I feel like I could definitely PR that. It's just now thinking about a stiff bar, calibrated plates, deadlifting 700 pounds, like that scares